I was born in California. I grew up in Los Angeles and lived there in this stupid little town called Glendale until I was a teenager, and then I got out. I moved up the coast to Washington because I wanted to live where there was a chance of being killed by a bear. Because there are bears up there, and they will come right into your house and attack you because they get frightened. Yeah. And mushrooms, poisonous mushrooms. I would go picking mushrooms and eat them without knowing if they were poisonous or not.
Only poison?
No, I wasn't poisoned.
But
Well, when I didn't take any drugs or anything until I was 20 years old. I didn't even drink alcohol. The first drug I ever took before I smoked a cigarette or drank a beer or anything was LSD. I took a huge hit of acid and had the most horrible experience of my life. Had a, I mean, if you've ever done that, you know how strange it can get. And, incapacitated me. It was days before I could do it again. And I took actually quite a bit of that stuff until it stopped doing what I wanted it to do. And I didn't do any more of that until last summer when I found out about a plant called Salvia divinorum, which is a sacred plant that grows in Oaxaca. It's got the most powerful naturally occurring hallucinogen there is in it. It's just this, it looks like mint, but if you take a couple of leaves and dry it and smoke it, you get higher than you've ever been in your life for about 5 minutes. And then it stops.
it's like DMT?
Kind of, it's in a class by itself. It's an extremely physical chemical. It makes you feel like your body is turning into a set of gears which are grinding into each other. And you can get a concentrated extract of it because if you don't want to take these big, deep lungfuls of this acrid smoke, you can smoke this kind of refined powder. And somebody sent me some of that by coincidence, and I put some in a pipe. Fortunately, my wife was in the room, and I took a big, deep, this stuff is legal in America, by the way.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I put some in a pipe, and I took a big, deep hit of it, and I held it in for about 30 seconds. And suddenly, I was in this state that was so completely disorienting. I couldn't remember, I didn't know how I got there. I couldn't remember taking the hit. I had been sitting in a chair and I jumped up and ran for the stairs. Fortunately, my wife was there and she threw me onto the floor so I didn't hurt myself. I couldn't see her. I was looking right at her and I couldn't see her. She was talking to me and I heard thousands of voices coming at me from her. And I was looking at my studio and I was watching it being sucked away from me. And I was being pulled out of the world. And previously, when I had smoked this stuff, it was like my mind was plucking at the surface of reality, just plucking at it like a dead man plucking at the coverlet. And this time, when I took this huge hit of the extract, the world just was ripped off of itself, and I saw what was underneath it for about 3 minutes. And then this is while I was lying on my back looking up at the ceiling because my wife threw me onto the ground so I didn't fall out the window. And then it faded away, and 10 minutes later I was perfectly fine. There was no residue, no hangover, no uncomfortableness, no nothing. It was the most amazing thing. I don't recommend it. It wasn't fun, it wasn't good, it wasn't something you do at a party or anything like that. You know, it's for serious psychonauts only, and like, again, I don't recommend it. It was a terrifying, horrible experience, but it was meaningful, and I will certainly do it again. But I don't recommend it. Don't do this, kids. Stay away from Salvia divinorum. She's something. Well, never mind.